Hey there, CJ Math students, and welcome to homework number 116. So today we're going to interpret data from box and whisker plots. So a reminder that we've got these kind of anchor charts here at the top. I do not need you to copy these anchor charts today, but I do need you to copy everything else. So including this graph and then the line with the question and everything like that. So put your header up at the top, 4.30, homework number 116, first and last name. And let's begin here. So remember the dots at the end of the box and whisker plots, those are your minimums and maximums. Sometimes they're little lines instead. The first start of the box, that's your quarter one. The middle line in the box, that's your median, the middle of the data, and the last ending of the box, that's your quarter three. So each of these is broken up into 25%. So you can see that if the median is the middle, in front of everything in front of the median is 25 and 25, so 50%. Half of the data falls before the median, and then you'll notice 25 and 25, half the data falls after the median. That makes sense if it's in the middle, right? If you're in quarter one, then you're in this first 25%, right? If you're in quarter three, then you're in this first 25, 50, 75%. And if you're all the way up here in quarter four, then you're in the top, you're at the top, the 100th percentile, right? So for questions 1 through 10, refer to the box and whisker plot below showing the results of the 7th grade math test. Remember, in order to find the range, you're going to take the maximum number and subtract it from the minimum number. And in order to find the interquartile range, as in the space inside the box, right, that's going to be your quarter three minus your quarter one, right? So for question 1, it says, what is the maximum score on the test? Well, you'll notice that somebody got a 102. That was the highest score. So you're going to write out the question, and then on that line, you're also going to write out 102. You've already copied down this graph on your paper as well. What's the lowest score on the test? That's super easy. That's a 38, right? It's just the lowest score here. So this is your minimum, and this is your maximum, right? All right, so what is the median score of the test? Well, that's the line right in the middle. So this is your median, and it's pretty easy to tell that's an 88. What percent of the class scored below a 72? So here's 72, so all this space right here, what percent of that class is below 72? Well, if you go back up to here, all the stuff from your quarter one marker all the way down to your minimum is worth 25%. So what percent of the class scored below 72? 25%. We don't know how many students that is because I haven't told you how many students are in the class just yet. So now, what percent of the class scored below an 88? So here's 88. That's your median line, right? So you make up 25% here and 25% here. So everybody below an 88, everybody below the median, that's 50%. So 50% below the median, 50% above the median. What's the range of scores on the test? Well, that's going to be our maximum minus our minimum. So that's going to be 102 minus 38, and that's 64, right? So our lowest score was a 38, our highest score was a 102, so it means we had 64 kind of measurements in between. That doesn't mean we had 64 different scores in between. It's just that was the range of our scores. The IQR represents the middle 50% of the class. What was the IQR for the test? So like here is the IQR. It's everything within the box, right? That's 50% of the class. Why? Because here's 25% and here's another 25%. The last part here is your last 25%. So the middle 50% of the class scored between quarter three, which was 96, and quarter one, which was a 72. So remember, in order to find the IQR, you want to do quarter three minus quarter one, or in this case, again, go back up, a 96 minus a 72. And that gets you 24% between, sorry, to the IQR is not a percentage, sorry, it's just 24 is your IQR. So you had a range of anywhere from 72 to 96 as your middle 50%. Now, based on just the graph, can you tell exactly how many students scored above the median? Well, here's the median right here at an 88. we know that somebody scored a 102, and we know that 25% scored a 96. So we know that 50% scored above the median, but exactly how many students? Can I give you a number? No. Right? I can only give a percent based on the information. Okay? You're going to copy that down as well. All right. So number 9, if there are 24 students in the class, how many scored above the median? So above the median is 50%, right? Because below the median is 50% and above the median is 50%. So you're just going to take what is 50% of 24. Remember, that keyword of means to multiply. So you're going to do 24 times 0.50. Hopefully you remember that 50 is represented to 1/2. So what's half of 24? 12. So 12 students scored above the median. That means also then 12 students scored below the median, right? But the next question doesn't ask about the median. It says if there are 24 students in the class, how many scored below a 72? So here's 72. That's our first quartile. So that's 25%, right? So we want to say, okay, what is 25% of 24? Remember, of means to multiply, so 24 times 0.25. You can use a calculator here if you want, or you can say, hey, what's 1/4, because that's what 0.25 is, of 24. It will give you 6. So 6 students, all right? So that was the front side. Again, make sure you have the graph, copy down all the questions. Again, your paper should basically look exactly like my paper. And then on the back of your paper, you're going to do questions 11 through 20 all on your own. It's very quick, right? These don't take a whole bunch of math. So copy down this graph and then copy out the questions just like you did on the front side. And these questions are essentially the same questions I asked you on the front side, but with just a different graph. So if you have a tough time, rewind the video, rewatch, or look at your front paper, see how you got the answer. And then when in doubt, give me a call and ask a question then if you need to. Use like the side of a book or a ruler if you got one to make your graph kind of straight as possible. Other than that, no ST math today. If you're missing questions on BuzzMath because you did 9 out of 10 questions and you left that one pesky one, please go back and get that done. You got some time today to do that. Please make sure to email me a picture of your work. It's nice and neat. Like again, these lines are there for a reason, so I can easily tell the answer and you write the question right after it. And also make sure to include the code word. That's it. Have a wonderful day.